Okay, y'all, you know who it is.
You know who it is.
Before we get into this, because I don't want to get a bunch of messages about this. Yes, it's true. I am a haircut boy. Haircut boy, it's a haircut boy. Haircut boy, it's a haircut boy. Let's go.
Haircut. Clean cut.
Okay, guys, so blah, blah, blah. We got a very, very important case here that we're going to take a look at. It's the Kyle Rittenberger case. And we're going to look at the coverage of one of the greats of our time, known YouTube lunatic. What is this guy's name? Stephen Chowder. So here we go. Let's check out his cool, totally normal, and sign that everything is going okay in the United States and in the world, that this guy gets 1 million views in one day. Stephen Chowder.
Wow. Here's the issue with Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me give you my opinion. I think the kid's, I don't think the kid did anything wrong. I think the kid is a hero.
Oh, shocker. Oh, that's a shocker.
Wow.
Oh man, you mean one of these right-wing culture war echo chamber guy falls perfectly in line like a stick of ram. He falls perfectly right in line with all the right-wing influencers. Wow, shocking. Thank God this guy's not censored, because we do need this amazing diversity of opinion. What? You think he's a innocent? Whoa. Here's my, you know what? I'll give you in my heart of hearts, a heart inside of my heart, from that littler heart inside of that heart. You're not going to believe this, but my opinion perfectly matches all the other right-wing influencers, just like me, and where I get this from.
And I think this has grave implications for everyone out there. There have been threats.
This is true. There really are grave implications that are really, really serious. Like if you're a little kid and you go around the law to obtain a gun and you run around killing people in an urban area, you might actually get in trouble. You know, and we just can't, as a country, handle that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I think Chowder, this guy, has a hard time getting that out. That weird moment where he's like, "Okay, I guess I gotta say this. Let me get up the nerve to say this." I think because he just had a kid. This guy, from what I understand. Hey, Dad. I watched a video that you made 17 years ago, and where you were praising a kid who paid a friend of his who was old enough to buy a gun. I'm gonna do that. You're cool with it? Because you were supporting it in that video, so you're cool with it now, right? Oh, you were doing this. Okay.
The first witness you're going to hear from in this trial is a man by the name of Dominic Black. Dominic Black was, at the time of this incident, dating Mackenzie Rittenhouse, who is the defendant's sister. And through Mackenzie, Dominic Black got to know the defendant. And they spent a lot of time together in the months leading up to August 25th, 2020. In fact, on May 1st of 2020, Dominic Black bought the AR-15 for the defendant. That occurred up in Ladysmith, Wisconsin. Dominic Black used money that was given to him by the defendant to go to an Ace Hardware up in Ladysmith and buy the gun in Dominic Black's name. Now you might ask, why was it necessary for Dominic Black to do that? Why couldn't the defendant do that? Because the defendant was 17. And Dominic Black and the defendant knew that because the defendant is 17, he cannot purchase a gun. He cannot legally own a gun.
You know what? I've decided that the defendant is guilty. That name Mackenzie should not be allowed.
Mackenzie Rittenhouse.
What is that? Oh, the trial's not about that? Oh, it's something less bad than being named Mackenzie? Oh, okay. Well, carry on.
Before I go to the timeline here, Kyle Rittenhouse isn't there, okay? The city's been bombed out. It's not even a big city, keep in mind, Kenosha. You're talking about a relatively small town. The city's been lit ablaze.
But there is an interesting moral, ethical thing going on here, which that if you watch the previous video about this, where I was talking about this, where I was droning about this case, a lot of concern from the judge and a lot of concern from basically everybody about property damage. The interesting thing that the prosecution notes here, a lot of property damage. The only people who were killed were the people that this a child. Those were the only people who were killed. So this is like a case of like, what are we going to value more? Property?
Fortunately, in the entire sequence of events, this was all property damage. And one of the things we all agreed on yesterday is life is more important than property.
Property?
Up until Tuesday night, despite all of the things that the community had experienced, no one had been killed.
In other words, if people shouldn't do what Kyle Rittenhouse did, if people should not protect their businesses, or even enlist the help of fellow American citizens who have any degree of training or ability to defend life, limb, property, what do? You just let it burn?
Yeah, totally agree with Child Protective Services. If you're watching this, Stephen Chowder, that children should be illegally armed to run around in the city. Child armies are the cutest armies. I think we can all agree on that, right? At least.
Keep that little smug.
We might have our divisions, guys. You know, this country is falling apart. We're being torn apart, this country. But one thing we can agree on is that child murderers are the cutest one. They are cute. Come on. A little kid, like an 8-year-old, and he's like, and he gets you, shoots you right in the penis. He also, this is another interesting thing about this case is he was defending a business. This is going to be a big part of the right-wing media saying this, which I think not even the defense is saying this anymore. But he went there to defend a business. A little bit of a problem, a little bit of a problemo with that one, which the prosecution talks about here.
Once the police pass by and the protesters are pushed down south of 60th, I believe the evidence will show that the car source that the defendant is stationed at is no longer in danger. There's no one there who's attempting to damage the property. There's no one there who's going to do anything to harm anyone there. The situation has moved on. Does the defendant stay there? Does he decide that he's done what he set out to do and it's time to go home? No.
This is sort of a meme now from this, I guess, but the defense, the guy defending Kyle Rittenbergen, he says the N-word. He says the N-word.
Oh.
But he's quoting somebody. It's kind of Is this lawyer canceled? He's quoting a guy who was saying soft A. Dude, if you're quoting somebody who's saying the soft A N-word, don't turn it into the, you know.
From the ultimate gas station where he was shouting, "Shoot me, shoot me," at a Black Lives rally.
I don't know why this lawyer had to use the hard R here, but the people watching this, who are a lot of like, how do we describe these people? Like Pee-Pee the Frog kind of people. They're still doing that, but they go crazy for this. A lot of LOL, he said it. A lot of these people very, very excited by this. LOL. Somebody says based. It's not based, man. To that commenter, it's not based. This is literally like for the next 10 minutes, just people in the chat like, hard R. He said it. It's funny, though, that bit, because also these people with this Wisconsin accents. So these guys were going down there, and they were just shooting those guns, and they were burning. They're saying Wisconsin was burned down. Maybe it should be, because of those accents. You know, Chowder and the Basement Boys do present an interesting question here. Interesting ethical question here. So here we go.
Chaz, then the follow-up question. Let's assume that you believe Kyle Rittenhouse shouldn't have been there, that it was a mistake. Why did he go there in the first place? Okay, let's assume it's a mistake.
Wow.
Is it a mistake that a 17-year-old boy should be executed for? Because none of that...
This actually is a good question. You know, we've looked at this channel, you know, at prisons in more developed countries, let's just call it, that are more humane. And if we really get down to the philosophical, ethical, whatever, bottom of this thing, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a dullard, a kind of dead-eyed psycho. Not his fault. It's the community's fault, really. So, you know, I'm not saying this should happen, but in an ethical society, we may consider, if it may please the court of opinion, of public opinion, we may consider things like, for example, I don't know, I mean, these are just hypotheticals. Like the people who do these kind of shows, these kind of right-wing YouTube shows that a lot of kids watch, you know, maybe there's like a guy, I don't know, who used to wear a bow tie and interview Britney Spears, for example. Probably those guys, you know, maybe deserve to be thrown in the hole, you know, and thrown water down at them. They're in a hole and like, just, no, here, have a drink. And they throw water, encouraging kids to shoot other kids. Oh, no, you know. These are ideas, you know. They get tased, you know, every once in a while. The people who kind of foam this stuff up, all I'm saying, maybe should have some putrid water thrown on them, on their bodies, you know, while they're in the hole, and they're like, oh, can I have food? And then like a thing opens and it's like, yeah, here's your food. Oh, more putrid water. Oh, what is that, mop water? You know, I don't know. Like certain right-wing personalities, maybe that's what might help them, I think.
Oh! Okay, did he defend himself with an appropriate degree of force? Look, it is no longer relevant if he has a gun charge. People trying to say, and we'll go through the lies. Some of the lies, he brought a firearm across state lines. That's not true. It was completely illegal for him to have a firearm. That's not necessarily true. There's a loophole in the law, and everyone who hunts in the Midwest knows this is the case. There are a lot of...
Somebody hasn't been paying close attention to the case. Because the defense tried to do this. They try to pull this trick of like, hey, no, there's a loophole. He could have that gun. Let's throw out the gun charge because he could have that gun because of hunting. Oh, was he hunting at the time? No, he was not. Was he anywhere near a forest? No, he was in an urban area with lots of people around. That doesn't sound like hunting. It's not. We were trying to go do that. That's so dumb. I mean, that is truly, even if you're just watching, you know, you're like watching Crowder, you could be like, wait, that doesn't make it like a loophole for hunting that this 17-year-old acquired this gun illegally. Like wait, was he hunting with it? Oh no, clearly not. Like they're literally in the court showing video of him running around a downtown area. Okay, I still don't understand.
We're protecting from the citizens, and I just got pepper sprayed by a person in the crowd.
So you had non-lethal, but you didn't respond.
We don't have non-lethal.
So you guys are full on ready to defend the property?
Yes, we are. Now, if I can ask, can you guys step back? Medical, EMS right here. I'm an EMT. I am an EMT.
He's just a really sharp little guy.
So the Basement Boys go through these videos. I'll put links to the opening statements because they kind of go through all this stuff. And it's way more interesting than these guys like, Jim Carrey smoking, blah, 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 or whatever. But this part, I you know, it's really rough, the not being a cop, but trying to talk, even a cop talking like a cop with the, okay, we're going to need you to exacerbate the perimeter right now. Like, to the cops out there, because many cops watch this program, just drop that. No one's spying it, guys. Just talk normal. Just talk normal, okay? I was attempting to facilitate the suspect by engaging in vehicular engagements. You were running over a guy with your car. Yes. That's another way to eradicate the verbalities of it, okay? That's you.
Come on now, talking murder in the first.
No,
there's
come on, not at all.
Is that Kyle helping the man with his shirt?
No, that was somebody else. Kyle
Okay.
circles back around the car to see what happened to the guy
and makes a phone
he's not
call.
Sure.
Okay, so We got a post-murder breakdown by the Basement Boys here. There's some shocking stuff if you watch the opening statements. So we see this kid, he like calls somebody on the phone, and I look at that and I'm like, well, he's probably calling the cops, right? He called the kid who bought the gun for him. Ooh, yikes. Then he runs away. Not good, buddy. Again, Steven Crowder's like, he's a hero. I hope my kid does something like this. Oh, boy. I sure hope my kid does something like this, right? Boomer Facebook audience? Right, boomers and unfortunates of the society who I fleece?
Just a question.
He sees him on the ground. He makes a phone call, but two people are already assisting the guy. Right.
And then they tell him to leave.
That's not the only guy that's chasing Kyle. So right now, Kyle puts his life in danger by circling back to check on the person that was trying to get him.
Right.
And then he has to get out of there because there are other people.
Now this...
Oh, man. Oh, he came back to look at the guy that he shot with a gun that he obtained that he shouldn't have had. Wow. True hero.
Wow.
He really is a hero. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there's a song by the lead singer of a little band you might have heard of called Nickelback. And they did a song for the 2002 movie Spider-Man, and the song's called Hero. Okay, the song's called Hero. And if you listen to that song, there's a line that goes, and a hero can save you. He's a little kid with an illegally obtained gun, and he's shooting some protesters. I hope my kid grows up to tell his friend to buy a gun for him because he's 17.
Times said was a mistake, where they said, well, then he ran with his firearm back through the crowded area. So that's what, if you see a crazy guy with a gun, hold on a second. His choice now at this point is run away to where more protesters are in a remote area.
Right.
Or run through as public and as crowded of a street as possible without your firearm in an aggressive position and hope that police officers, which is who he surrendered to immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even in your little stupid brain, it sounds like there's not a lot of good choices in this situation. Like when a 17-year-old's running around with a gun, not a lot in a chaotic protest situation, not a lot of good choices. It sounds like from the very beginning, this kid kind of f***ed up really bad. Idiot, right? Stupid, you idiot, you right-wing ding dong, you disgrace to Canada, you. You call yourself a comedian and you're from Canada. Thank God John Candy's not alive to see this. Thank God Jonathan Candy is not alive to see this. Thank God the kids in the hall are not alive to see this.
Anybody who is shot at the range knows how much easier it is to go target, than to practice drawing and target. It's something everyone who owns a firearm, responsible firearm.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Cool. Did you and the Basement Boys have like a screening of Die Hard 2? You're all in your jammies. You're like, oh, looking up at like your mom set up the projector down there, and oh, John McClane. He sure is cool. Did you guys watch John Woo's The Killer? Is that where you got all this? You accumulated this amazingly useful and not at all LARPy information? You useless nerd, you.
Oh, yeah. By the way, it's a high-capacity magazine. The refractory period is just unreal. You got to give him credit where it's due.
Oh, gun specs guy. Cool guy alert. Oh, cool guy alarm needs to go off right now. Cool guy. Oh, we got a cool guy. Damn, dude, did you look that up on the internet? Whoa, you have internet access? Damn.
We have the shooter, we have the person who was shot, the attacker, the arsonist, Rosenbaum, one of them, earlier on in the day, repeatedly making threats, yelling out racial epithets, which really doesn't bother me, it's just it should bother the media. I'm a little bit murky on the double standard. Man chases him later. When he finds him alone, throws something at him, someone else fires a gun, he shoots him, checks on him, tries to make sure he's okay, flees.
I love this. I mean, there's so much beautiful stuff here. This is great because one of the things that these guys say over and over in this video is they're like, how is he going to get a fair trial, this kid? They're going to riot and he can't get a fair trial. He can't get a fair trial. Meanwhile, they spend about an hour, but probably more 2 hours, like the guys that he killed were bad guys. So they did not deserve due process. Those guys just did immediate death penalty from a 17-year-old. Okay, so then the thing about this kid not getting a fair trial that you're saying, it doesn't... You see, there's a little bit of a problem there, buddy. The other thing with these guys, the basement boys, is I thought these were like, they wanted to be tough guys. I mean, one of them's wearing a bra of some kind, but I thought they wanted to be tough guys, right? Like, a tough guy would go out there and get in a normal fight, an average young person fight. Like me now, if there's a fight going on, if somebody tricks me into like going out, you know, and like a fight breaks out, I'm like, well, I'll see you guys later. You know what I mean? I was having dinner with these friends of mine once, and it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and the girlfriend asked the boyfriend, hey, if somebody ever threatened us, you know, would you defend me? Somebody like came up with a gun, would you defend me? And the boyfriend said, I would do everything I could to defend you on my phone when I call the police after I run away. That's a true cretin. But that's me. Like, if there's a fight breaking out, I'm just like, I don't want to get like my eye gouged, because that's what happens in real fights. You know, it's not like John Wick. You know, real fights aren't John Wick. Real fights are like you get poked in the eye, you get accidentally kneed in the penis, all this stuff. I'm not really feeling that. That's not how I want to spend my Friday. You know, like my one day off. Hey, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I got gouged, and now I got to go to the eye doctor. And they're going to figure out a way that my copay doesn't work for this. But I thought the basement boys were tough guys. Why not just... The least tough thing I could think of is, if somebody throws a plastic bag at me, I need to have a gun to defend myself. You too scared to get in a fight? I think the basement boys are kind of revealing themselves a little bit here. Too scared. We're too scared. We're too scared to get in a fight. We need to buy a $2,000. I need to have a $2,000 weapon. I think this is true that we've revealed the true nature of these basement boys. Again, those are the only two people that got killed. This could have been a normal fight, you know. This little kid gets punched in his little piglet face, and then he learns something. He says, violence is not good. I got punched in my little little dullard face. I'm gonna rethink things. That's a way that a lot of people learn, you know. But the basement boys are too scared. They're too scared of getting in a fight, so they need a $2,000 gun that they polish in the basement. And their mom says, "What are you guys doing down there?" And then they all rush and hide it. And they're nothing. Okay, now Stevie Chowder, attorney at law, is going to go over some really important and deep legal things. Okay?
You're welcome.
That he illegally possessed a firearm. This is another claim that they'll make. Not true. That he illegally crossed state lines with a firearm. Of course not true. Now, that he was a member of the militia, white supremacist. Absolutely not true. There's been no evidence of that. Even the prosecution hasn't even submitted any evidence of that.
Yeah.
Now, the one charge, and I will give this to you, the one charge that they may be able to make stick is the gun, whether it was legal or not. Now, let me read to you why. From Wisconsin.gov. This section applies only to a person under 18 years of age who possesses or is armed with a rifle or shotgun if the person is in violation of S 941.28 or is not in compliance with blah, blah, blah. This section applies only to an adult who transfers a firearm to a person under 18 years of age if the person under 18 years of age is not in compliance with SS 29.304. So this is something people need to understand. People who hunt, there are always exceptions with long guns for hunting. And it's very, very common in Midwestern.
So, we're a little checked out here. You know, when you're doing this kind of thing, you get, you're squeezing out of rubes people you underestimate. the unfortunate of society, you kind of, it all kind of blurs together. I get it, Chowder. Don't worry.
Wow.
But maybe it's not a legal gun because of hunting. I mean, these guys are dumb enough that they might be like, I don't know, was that a forest? Was he out in the wilderness? Ooh, don't you know we're going hunting for beaver. We're going hunting for woodchucks. We're gonna shoot us at one of those Billy Big Mouth basses. How many times? It's like, hey, how many times do we have to go over that this was not a hunting situation? There's kind of a thin line between like guns are kind of cool to shoot at a range and gun culture. Like this kid's clearly, when you get into I'm trying to eradicate the area right now. If I can get you guys to move back, like there's a thin line between like moronic gun culture and just like, yeah, no, because admittedly, it's very fun to go to a range and like shoot like a 44. It'll just like, oh wow, There's a thin line between, there's a thick line between that and like this moronic gun obsessed stupidity. So again, it takes a village to raise a kid that would get himself into this kind of situation, and it takes an even bigger digital village to encourage this kind of stuff, to ensure that things like this will happen again from guys who, media vultures, media bottom feeders who again, we're just throwing out ideas. I don't want this to happen. We just like to think in our minds and like project it into guys who, one punishment could be, getting brutally tased. That's one. In Steven Crowder's case, a really brutal punishment for him would be like, you can only dress like a guy. You cannot dress like a pretty lady anymore. I don't think he would want to go on. He would, remember, that meme, I don't want to be around anymore? He would just be like, I don't want to be around anymore if I can't dress like a little cutie, So, there we go, guys. me saying, I would say cancelable. I would say moderately cancelable. Not as bad as that lawyer who goes hard R. That'll be on my gravestone when I die. At least he didn't say the hard R. So guys, thank you so much. No, come on, I really don't deserve that, I mean, if that's how you feel, This has been
Arun Brown.
Bye-bye. Hey guys, you're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new motherfucking episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. You get the patron-only Tuesday and Thursday shows, the Book of Lega show where we look at important books, and the goddamn weekly behind-the-scenes show. And for only 25 bones, you could become a producer and get your name up here. Look at these people. These people make this show possible. If it wasn't for them, nothing. We don't have a show. We got nothing, and it's garbage. And we have to just leave. We have to just basically walk away. And we don't even really know where we're walking. That's the truly troubling part about all this. But please, become a patron today for as little as 2 bones, or 5 bones is another level, or 10, or you go the full 25 and you get up here. Big special thanks to these people. Love you guys so much.